Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started on our learning intentions. This is part 2 of that the student will be able to graph linear equations. And if you remember, we talked a little bit about how to identify the parent function of a linear equation. And we said that the parent function is actually f of x equals x. And what this is it is a line, okay, with slope equal to 1 and y-intercept at 0, 0. It's going to go through the origin. So that is our parent function. Now we talked about standard form and what standard form was. And again, standard form was ax plus by equals c. I didn't mention is a, b, and c are just real numbers. Okay, they're just any number that we have on there. So that is your standard form. And today we're going to go into slope-intercept form. Okay, so on slope-intercept form, again, reminder that it is the basic equation y equals mx plus b. We call it intercept because, again, the m, okay, the m is the slope and the b is the y-intercept. And so, again, we don't have to do anything special. It's given in that form. We can just take our slope and our graph. Again, we always first graph the intercept and the slope after that. Okay, so let's look at a couple equations here. Again, let's just write the basic form. Y equals mx plus b. Now, here's the thing about it. Not all of these will have an m. It's possible that they don't have an m. It's possible, or the m is 0. And it's possible that there's no b. So if it is, each one would be 0. So in this case, you'll notice there's no b. So we could look at it as plus 0 on that. So this is going to make our y-intercept equal to 0, 0. And our slope equal to 2. So when I go to graph, I start my y-intercept. In this case, again, it's 0, 0. And I have a slope of 2. And what a slope of 2 means is 2 over 1, which means you're going to rise 2 and then run 1. In this case, I run 1 to the right. So rise 2, run 1 to the right. And I draw my line, and I'm done. Very easy. Okay? The key is you start at your y-intercept, and you do your slope from there. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so the next one, it has both an m and a b. Now, there's no number here, so again, that's going to be an understood 1. Y-intercept is going to be 0, negative 2. Now, negative because the formula has a plus in it. And my slope is going to be 1. So if you want to think of it as 1 over 1, that's great. You don't have to. Okay, let's do another graphing there. It's going to have a y-intercept of 0, 2, negative 2, so down 2, and then a slope of 1. Rise 1, run 1, rise, run, and then draw your line. I would say always do at least 3 points. That's kind of my generic thing to say, 3 points. Okay, next one. Y-intercept here is going to equal a negative 1. And your slope is 3. So again, let's do a quick. So 0, negative 1. Slope of 3. 1, 2, 3, right 1. 2, 3, right 1. Okay? And then draw your line. Again, use your straight and get it as close as you can. Okay? Pretty easy, I think. Most of you probably remember how to do slope-intercept form. So I'm going to give you a we do. I want you to try it again, and then I'll go through the graph. Okay? So try these 3 on your own. Pause the video, go ahead and get them graphed, and then go ahead and start it back up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Hopefully you've had to get that done. Now, one of the things I do want you to do, I didn't mention it, but I did it myself. I always want you to tell me the y-intercept and the slope. So don't just graph it. Tell me the y-intercept and the slope. So in this case, my y-intercept is going to be 0, 3. And again, I do it written as a point, or I'll take it off because it says the point where it crosses the x-axis. My slope is 2. I don't expect you to write it as 2 over 1. 2's fine with me. we're going to go to our graph and we're going to do 0, 3, 1, 2, 3, slope of 2, rise 2, run to the right 1, rise 2, run, and then graph your line. Now, here's the thing about it. When you're doing a homework assignment, you're not going to want to put one graph on each graph paper on the coordinate plane, or you're going to take it up. So here's what I would like you to do, and especially if you could use colored pens for me or something other, or do a colored and as you do the graphs, somehow you make a note on there as to which is which. But what I will accept is just on the line, write the equation. Okay, so write it that way. Again, still give me this information. If you color code things, that makes it even better. Okay, and so I'm going to go on to the next one. My y-intercept would be 0, -2. My slope would equal 1/2. Okay, so again, code it. Then what you could do is you could draw your line. So let's do a hot pink and a totally different color if you want to do it that way. So I have -2, and which means rise 1, run 2, 1, run 2. Now some people look at this as 1/2 over 1. That's fine. You'd have to up 1/2, okay, rise 1/2, and run 1. Rise 1/2 and run 1. You see, it's still going to work. Okay, so again, there's my graph, and put your equation on the line. Okay, that way when I'm grading it, it makes it really easy for me. So you figure out a system that works for you, maybe with color coding or whatever you want to do. I think I'm going to go green this time. So let's go ahead and do blue. And so my y-intercept is 0, -1. My slope is a -3/4. Okay, so I'm going to go to my line, and like I said, I'm going to use green, see how this turns out. So 0, -1, slope of a -3/4. So what that's going to mean is down 3, right 4. Don't put that negative on both of them. It either goes on the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter one, numerator or denominator. But so in this case, I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, down 3, right 4. Or I could have looked at this as a slope, again, of 3/4, but done 3 over a -4. And I would have gone, whoops, up 3, 1, 2, 3, left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you look at my line, okay, they are still, whoops, together. Okay, so hopefully you got those right. And then we're going to go on to point slope. That will be on your next video.